We are ready for Game 2 of our 4-game slate here at the Triple Threat Girls Basketball Showcase and Rising Stars Challenge. Mike Peden with you once again with Riri Rennie. And we'll have the same team designation. Gray, a.k.a. LYNX, and red, a.k.a. Gophers. Riri, I know you had a bit of an episode there, so you didn't get a chance to fully finish out the way you wanted to, but I will say this, when you came in for those last 5 minutes, I thought you were going to tear up every stat sheet.
Honestly, I thought I was too.
But what did you enjoy most about playing in the event, and what did it mean for you to get a send-off before you head off to Iowa Lakes?
I enjoyed how even though many people here don't really know each other, we all still had that same cooperation as a team that know each other for years. We all were working together, talking pretty well, and I liked how everyone had sportsmanship for each other.
Sportsmanship was in full swing. Now, I have to ask you this. Was Shania's scouting report of you accurate?
Yeah, it was pretty accurate.
I didn't realize that I was interviewing one of your future teammates.
I didn't know either until I just found out she's going to Iowa.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you came here because you got to learn about another teammate of yours. If you don't mind, Riri, what was that process like for you, and what are you looking forward to? Because I know the junior college level, a lot of athletes are trying to build up their credentials to get to that next level, but what are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about is going to college, spending time with my teammates, and just pretty much going off on my own.
Hafsa Mohamed.
So they are announcing all the players. Some you might recognize because they just played in the last game.
Yep.
Including Emiya Jones and Shanyce Glover. You might have to help me, Riri, or I might have to check in at halftime to get names and numbers, or maybe there's some parents who can help me.
Maybe.
Because I don't know.
I'm not good with names myself.
I know a few of them, but not every single one. But this is an exhibition event, so this is, of course, about having fun. And Riri will be with us for the rest of the day here as we get game number 2 underway.
Okay.
And wasting little time is number 17.
She's quick on her feet.
Number 17, I don't know who that is, but she's got a couple points. We'll get that sorted out. We'll play 20-minute halves running time. I believe that is Hamdi Mohamed of the gray team, number 32.
Ooh.
And the red team scored. Did you see who got that?
No, but I seen the assist from number 26.
Well, these players aren't messing around. They are going for it right away. That's Elizabeth Adedigba,
Ooh.
if I'm saying it correctly.
Oh, that's London, 26. I know her. I played
London
for her
Clardy.
dad.
I bet you that's London Clardy.
I played on her dad's AAU team.
Steal. And
Ooh.
no bucket. Those rims down there have been rather unfriendly. Another bucket. That was Faith Sampson who scored for the gray team. They lead 4-2. Hopefully we'll get everyone sorted out. That is the tough part with these events, and you get some last-minute swaps, so it can lead to a little bit of jumbling. But we're seeing a lot of high-flying action.
Ooh.
That's 29. Samiya Gomez, who got sent away, and the officials, Anisha Scott and Maya McNeil from De La Salle. I'm guessing you know those two quite well, Riri.
Yeah, played AAU with both of them. And played against them.
Anisha did not make it easy to go against anybody.
Nope. She's a killer.
That's why she's going to Richmond. That's Scarlett Capers, who plays for Champlin Park. Gomez with the steal. Kiera Willis, also part of the coverage there. Willis over to 35. Faith Sampson. And number 26, I'm trying to figure out who that is.
London.
Oh, that's Clardy. Thank you.
Yep.
What would I do without you, Riri?
I don't know.
Well, Clardy, one of the many athletes in this field today who got to take part in the state tournament, with Eastview reaching the semifinals in Class 4A. Sampson, number 27, got the block on number 32. 27 is Hafsa Mohamed, and that was Hamdi Mohamed who got the pick. Capers launches the three, can't get it to go. 4-2. Willis lines it up, off the heel. Rebound Capers. I thought we were going to see some fireworks early on, and both teams struggling a little bit right now to find their shot.
Just the start of the game.
But Capers is there for the runner. And then again, we'll have some athletes who are not seniors play in our next game. There is a crossover and a traveling call. Yes, they do call those in these exhibition games. Well, Riri, what was your favorite moment from getting to play in the senior game?
My favorite moment was being able to play with the different group of girls, all from different high schools. Even though some of us may know each other, we don't know how each other plays. So it was pretty fun trying to figure out how everyone played.
4-4 the score. It's early. That's Danasia Anderson, who moved to Minnehaha Academy after coming over from Park Center, and Anderson and Shafa became impact players for their teams. There's Anderson. She's got, I want to say, the tie-dye hair. And there's Glover, who played well in our last game. Rebound picked up by Kailoni Johnson.
Ooh, blocked.
And we'll have free throws for Shanyce Glover, who averaged 7 a game for the North Polars last year, or this past season. You got to play against North, Riri.
Oh, yeah.
What was it like going up against the Glovers?
They were really tough and aggressive, both of them. Both sisters showed up to play. They were not giving us anything.
And another player who I wish could have been here today but wasn't able to, Brooklyn Pettis. She was a scorer.
Oh, yeah. She was a bucket.
Tisa apparently is running a debt with all these missed free throws. This is why I don't bet on sports. Because I've seen enough bad beats on Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt to know if you bet on sports, you'll be disappointed. Ava Smith on the attack. Sent away by London, Clardy. There's Anderson, working off the screen set by Durant. Out to Durant. Whoa! I see ya!
He's cold.
I see ya, Lanaia. I bet you could pull that move off in your sleep, right?
Maybe. Maybe.
7-4, red over gray. What is it like? You mentioned having to go in there and you don't really get a chance to practice or warm up with these players. How long does it take to get settled into this cast of characters as we got a 3 that bounces out?
Usually takes about probably 5 to 6 minutes.
I'm guessing it was a little different at Richfield where you got to you got to learn a lot about Anaya and Desiree.
We grew up together, so I knew everything about those two.
You know everything, so you know all those embarrassing secrets. No. Here's the turnaround.
I know some.
Any fun stories about those two?
Those two, think.
Here comes Clardy. Tried to lean into it.
Well, there's a lot of times all three of us, plus a few other girls, would just hang out for fun before games or do something silly.
What kind of silly stuff? Uh-oh.
Ooh, travel.
Shaw pump faked herself.
Usually, because my dad coached us when we were younger, so we'd spend a lot of time together. 3rd grade all the way to 7th grade.
I do remember one of your posts from Instagram saying, yeah, these are my sisters since 3rd grade.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
that was when we played AAU together. We reincarnated one of the photos we took.
I did see that. You all grew up a little bit, though, from what I could tell.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to ask you, Riri, have you ever pump faked yourself?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Well, no pump fake necessary there. That's Ava Smith who scores. Jones launches.
Ooh.
Can't get it to go. Shaw with the rebound, 7-6. Again, we play running time. Here comes Shaw. Now she'll fire the 3.
There you go.
I guess we figured out what the problem was. She just needed to get her feet set.
Ooh, owl.
And Durant will go to the line for a couple.
Can't send her to a line. She a sharpshooter.
Now, how are you at free throws? How are you, I should say? I guess how are you would be appropriate, too, because you aren't going to keep playing. But how are you as a free throw shooter?
Judging by my stat report from high school, I was an 83% free throw shooter.
That's right. They do post all the stats there. So you were money.
Yep.
You were money at the line.
Yep, because I was
I thought you
constantly getting beat up.
You were constantly getting. Why would anyone want to beat you up?
Because I'm big.
Because you're big. Well, that's no reason to beat you up.
Nah, it is.
If I tried that, I would be canceled. I'd be run out of the building. I don't want to beat you up because you would kick my butt.
Well, when you play against girls that are stronger and bigger than you, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
In my case, everybody would be. I know my limits. 9-7 the score. Gray over red.
I don't know my limits.
Well, that's why you're still playing, right?
Yep.
Hey, considering your background, what you had to get through to get here, I don't think you would have any limits.
Nah.
Well, 9.5 left. How have you handled that, if you don't mind me asking, Riri, some of the spotlight that came your way? Because you were featured a couple of times, and Shanyce Glover is making herself at home on the take. But you got the feature on WCCO earlier this year. We've got a 3 from Samiya Gomez. So you've had a lot of articles in the news about you, and to get something about basketball, but just to have your story told the way it is, how has that shaped you into who you are, if you don't mind me asking?
It pretty much shaped me to who I am because basketball was the one thing that kept me going. Like every time I thought about what happened to me, I always felt happy, the fact that I could play basketball. And I'm here today, keep playing.
Turnaround shot, a bit strong. Rebound, Adedigba. 8.5 to go. Glover. For a second, I thought she might move to make the 3. Got a little too far underneath the rim.
Pretty much.
That is Gomez. Can't get it to go. Riri, I don't think anyone's put up a stop sign. We're seeing a lot of back and forth flow here.
Yeah.
But I do remember you telling me basketball looked like fun after you got out of your recovery and rehab. And
Oh, yeah. I kind of scared my mom. I'm like, Mom, I want to play basketball. And she's like, you just got out the hospital. You want to play basketball? I'm like, yeah.
Hey, if I had to spend that long, I might do the same thing.
Yeah, it's funny. My first year of basketball, I didn't do anything but run up and down the court. With my little leg braces, up and down the court. That's all it was.
You had braces. I forgot about that.
Yeah, had leg braces to keep me standing pretty much.
I could see you don't need them anymore.
Yeah, nah.
You have no trouble standing.
Nope.
Well, you got to stand tall if you're going to be an 83% free throw shooter.
Oh, yeah.
We got, oh, look at this. Naijiona and Danasia are both like, here, let me help you up first.
Sportsmanship. We love it.
You don't see that often, players competing with each other to be the first one to help somebody up. I don't know if you had that at Richfield or if you just waited for your teammates to pick you up or if you're just like...
Richfield, we had girls hustle over to help us up.
Speaking of hustle, how about Kiera Willis? Willis didn't score a lot at St. Paul Central, but she's got time. She's just an 8th grader.
Oh, she has a lot of time.
And how long did you play varsity?
I played varsity for 2 years.
Oh, I was like, just 2 years?
Would have been longer if I didn't transfer over.
Oh, where did you start originally?
First I started in Richfield, but throughout my middle school I switched to Burnsville.
Okay. And then you went back. I was like, wait a minute, only 2 years because I'm like 83% free throw shooters I think would have more time.
Yeah, I was supposed to play varsity my 10th grade year, but I couldn't play. I wasn't allowed to.
No, I understand the transfer rule.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Ava Smith, who averaged 4.6 points per game, and I suspect you'll hear a lot more about her at Hopkins in future seasons. And how about Hopkins? I mentioned this with Ty in our last game, Riri. You might remember them when they had those high-level D1 athletes.
Oh, yeah.
But to win a state championship with the defensive effort from Jalea Diggs and doing it with a lot of mid-majors, that just tells you, Tara Stark, she knows how to win in more ways than one.
Oh, yeah, she does.
As does the rest of the Hopkins players. And if that wasn't enough, they were decimated by injury. Tatum, ACL tear, she was out. Ava Cupido, I think, similar injury.
Yeah,
those two couldn't play.
There were a lot of injuries.
And to pull it off, I was thinking Hopkins wasn't going to have enough in the tank. Well, this is why I am not a sidekick. Hopkins had plenty in the tank as they continued their tradition.
They got rounds and rounds of girls.
And that will only continue with time. 13-9, steal by Capers. Finds Anderson. Danasia, the step through, too strong. Gomez collects the rebound. The step back jumper doesn't drop. That's number 35, Faith Sampson with the rebound. Gomez looking for the runner, doesn't get it. 4:40 left.
They just got to take their time on their shots. They rushing a little bit.
They do look a bit strong, I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, it takes a little time to get adjusted to it. And 4:17 left in the first. Here is Durant, another one of the young guns for Hopkins. They have a lot of talent in the pipeline. Durant, just a freshman. Rebound Johnson, Kailoni, part of the Minnehaha program. Played in this event a year ago when it was held at McAllister. Anderson straddling the baseline. Danasia looking to get around her coverage.
Ooh.
Says, all right, if I can't get around, I'll just hit a three. And then she has a friendly word with Zaniya Libbett, number 38.
Ooh, block party.
Shanyce, 6'1". And as you saw, Riri, she doesn't mess around.
Nah, she doesn't.
3 minutes and 10 seconds. Shaw. Made some moves in the first game, and she'll go to the line here in the second. What else did basketball give you, if you don't mind, Riri? Like you said, it was a way to have some fun coming out of the hospital, and I forget how long you stayed there to recuperate after your accident, but
Half a year.
a year?
Half a year.
Half a year. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I
sure I'll sleep for at least one part of that month. I'll sleep for like 1 month, and then woke up for the rest of them.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I don't know. Do you remember? Were there any dreams or anything you had in that?
No.
Do you remember anything that happened while you were asleep?
Not really.
And I don't mean to make light of what of you or what happened, but I do it because you're here, and it's easier to talk about now because we're not having to talk about you in the past tense. But what did the sport do for you to help you on that way back to get a little bit of that normalcy, if you know what I mean?
Well, one thing, it kept me busy.
Basketball tends to do that.
Yeah.
Between high school and AAU. I think any of these players can attest to it. Glover with the steal. I'm surprised Anderson went for that extra pass. I thought she was open down there.
I did too.
I would have gone for it, but that's just me. I don't know what you would have done.
I would have gone for it.
We're going to have a timeout with 1:38 to recharge the batteries for a bit. And so how did basketball aid you in that journey? Because you spent a few months, like you said, getting yourself back in shape, and then you had to work your way forward and relearn a lot, as I understand it.
Yeah, I did. Not only that, but basketball helped me meet all these wonderful people. Like friends I've known since elementary school, I'm still friends with today because of basketball.
Well, I saw you were chopping it up with Micaiah, having a little fun with Mahogany. You know a lot of these players around here.
Yes, I do. Because I've either played with them or played against them.
And how have they responded when they hear about, I don't know if that's I'm guessing that's not your icebreaker. Hi, I'm Riri, and I had an accident that put me in the hospital for 6 months.
Nah, that's not the icebreaker.
When they've learned about that, I'm guessing over time, I know you said you wanted to have some control sharing your story because it's a part of you, not all of it, but how have they responded, and what kind of support have you received over the years, including that story and just the folks who have come to appreciate you for who you are?
Well, when I first tell them, they all get really surprised, like, wait, whoa, that happened to you? And you're doing this today? I'm like, yeah, no way, it's crazy. It's pretty nice. Like,
I mean, you're here, you might as well, right?
Yeah, might as well. Like, every time I tell someone about what happened to me when I was younger, they all get really surprised. And, like, pretty much they become part of my support system.
I guess I have to add my name to that list because I had no idea until the story came out. But that's the beauty of what good storytelling can do. And I've met a lot of athletes over the years as we've got an outlet from Anderson to London Clardy. That gets her on the board. We're tied at 14. We're getting a little more flow now. But I've met a lot of players who've had to work through some sort of adversity, whether it's injury, accidents, whatever, and they find a way to make it work like you did.
Oh, yeah.
The step through, Johnson can't get it to go. Johnson collects the inbound. Jones on top of her. Anderson with time if she hurries.
Got 5 seconds left.
Danasia with the Jets. Danasia, Brianna Foster, both going to Minnehaha Academy and bolstered their ranks considerably. They've got a lot of young pieces coming back, and then Sine Hill will be a senior.
Oh, yeah.
So Anderson will get the free throw line to herself. No three-point play, but the red team does hold a 16-14 lead over the gray team. So I remember you telling me this, Riri, and it sounds like everyone else has the same reaction. When people are surprised that you are playing basketball, it would seem strange to me because it's like, hey, you're out. It's like, yeah, why can't I still do normal things? But
yeah.
I guess what do you think you've taught others with the fact that here you are, you had a life-changing incident occur, but that was out of your control, and now you're trying to make a name for yourself in basketball. Because when you told me people are surprised I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, I guess maybe I've covered the sport for so long that I'm immune to it, but I've met a lot of athletes who find a way to make it work.
Yeah, because I was supposed to be wheelchair bound, but yet here I am.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what they told you? Or?
Yeah, the doctors told my mom that I was paralyzed from my waist down and I wouldn't be able to walk again. Took a lot of physical therapy, but here I am.
I'm glad I didn't place a bet on that, because I would have lost big time.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
It's a brief halftime here. Go ahead.
I want people to learn from my story is even if something like traumatic happens, no matter what, if you love something, you should still pursue it.
And I know you referenced this when you did the interview for CCO, but I know your sister, unfortunately, not able to share these moments with you.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any thoughts? I don't know. It's hard to extrapolate, but knowing that you're going to get a chance to play college ball and, getting a chance to join us for a few games and be a guest commentator, I can only imagine some of the stories that you'll be sharing with her at some point in some plane of existence.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard you're now offering a helping hand to your younger sister. Dream, is that her name, or is there another one?
Dayana's the one playing basketball.
Zayana.
Dayana.
Okay, because I know there was Dream, I think.
She does dance.
She does what?
Dance.
Dance, okay.
Yeah, Day, she plays basketball. She's in 7th grade right now.
So how many siblings do you have?
8.
8?
8.
So there's
4 brothers, 4 sisters.
All right, so there's a lot more of you I'm going to have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so right now it's just Day and my youngest brother, Cavell, playing basketball. My sister Day, she was my biggest supporter when it came to basketball. Once I started, she told my dad, hey, I want to play basketball because Riri's playing basketball.
So let me ask you this, as we have a little halftime festivity going on. Throughout your time in high school, what was your most exciting moment and most embarrassing moment?
Let's see, let me think about that. My most exciting moment would be my senior night when we played against St. Anthony, and I knew that would probably be the last time I step on the court with the girls I grew up with, and it was just such a great moment to be with my girls. Most embarrassing moments? Let me think about that one.
And I mean a silly moment, not a humiliating. I think you know where I'm getting at, but just a fun moment you like to laugh at. Well, or it could be both, but a moment that you look back on and laugh and go, oh, what was I thinking?
Okay, well, there was a time we were playing against Holy Angels at my school the first time, and I stole the ball from this really tall girl, ran down the floor. I didn't notice that she was right on my tail.
Was that Ella?
I think.
Do you think when you said tall, I'm like, that sounds like Ella
really,
Pritchard.
Really tall. So I was running down, going up for a layup, but I didn't realize she was like hot on my trail. I went up for the layup, she smacked down, and I went down hard.
I've often said in my games, if you go back and watch my commentary, and this is no fault of yours, it just happens. If you get ahead of somebody, that means there's only one place they can be. Behind you. And it can be tougher to anticipate that.
I was just on the go. I did not notice she was behind me. Next thing you know, I get knocked from behind and I'm on the ground.
I'm guessing you got back up.
Yeah, I did. It took a few minutes, but I got back up eventually.
It took some time for your pride to come back.
Yeah, my
physically
pride.
you were fine. But yes, it hit you right in the pride there.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Right in the pride.
16-14. Any thoughts or observations so far on this game, Riri?
So far, I think the girls are actually doing pretty great. I see a lot of talent in all of these young ladies and really can't wait to see what they do with themselves when they're older.
So now we'll start our second half after our lightning contest. And I'm guessing, do you have Danasia Anderson? Doesn't waste any time. Pops up a three right away. Glover too strong. Capers with the finish. So do you have any goals for a 4-year college after you do your JUCO route at Iowa Lakes?
Yes, actually. I plan to go to Carroll University for 4
Where?
years. Carroll University.
Carroll?
Yep. It's in Milwaukee.
You already have that figured out, huh?
Yes, I do.
So why Carroll?
Because they have an animal behavior major that I really want to study.
That will often do it if they have the program you're looking for. So animal
behavior.
Animal behavior.
Yeah, I got to sit in one of their classes and just fell in love with the atmosphere.
So you must be a big fan of those nature programs, BBC Earth, Love Nature. You probably were watching the Americas that aired recently.
I can tell you one thing, I stay on Animal Planet.
So are you a Puppy Bowl viewer then?
Yeah.
So you don't watch the Super Bowl, you watch the Puppy Bowl?
I watch the Puppy Bowl. I will sit there for hours watching the Puppy Bowl, but I will not watch the Super Bowl. Maybe I'd watch it for the halftime show, but I love the Puppy Bowl.
Well, I do not share that affinity with you. I am a big sports fan, so I do watch the Super Bowl, but I've got nothing against animal lovers, and I was a big Price is Right fan growing up. I watched watched a lot of Bob Barker instruct his audience to have your pet spayed or neutered to help control the pet population.
Oh, yeah. I wish
big
I did
animal
that
rights
sooner
advocate.
Because I have a dog that's currently pregnant.
So what would you like to do with your animal behavior major at Carroll or wherever you end up going? Are you looking to be a veterinarian, animal
I was
scientist?
not really sure what I was looking for, but all I knew was I wanted to be in a field with animals.
Well, there's a lot of different ways. Veterinarian, zoologist, Kiera Willis. Cage is up a 3 for the gray team, 2019. It's been neck and neck.
Just like our game.
Right, it came down to a point.
Yeah.
2019. I was a little bummed you couldn't finish it out. I was like, oh, Reeby's going to lead a comeback.
Too, but asthma started kicking in. I'm like, oh, dang.
And I don't mean this to poke fun at that, but I was almost relieved when you said, oh, it was just an asthma attack.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought you tweaked something. I thought you might have tweaked a knee or a thigh, or, I thought, oh, no, she strained or pulled something, and now we're going to have problems.
Nope, just health issues.
Just health issues. I appreciate your optimistic attitude.
Yeah.
You remind me of another friend of mine who played basketball. She had a condition called POTS, which
drained her. I know what POTS is.
Okay, it drained her of her energy, and she got COVID one time. And she said she makes light of it all the time on the fact that she could have died but didn't. I don't know. I'm a little more reluctant to go into morbid humor like that unless I know you're okay with it.
I'm all right with it.
Like you said earlier, you don't introduce yourself. I'm guessing when you meet up with your team, what's the icebreaker? Hey, I was in an accident at 6 years old.
Never the icebreaker.
What is your go-to?
My go-to is telling people I got 8 siblings.
8 siblings. That's a pretty easy one. Or that you're an animal lover. That you have a. Do you have a dog who's pregnant?
Yeah, and my other dog's the one that impregnated her.
So you own 2 dogs?
Yes, a German Shepherd and a Pit Bull.
Well, I'm learning a lot about you today.
Yes, you are.
Catch and shoot 3 doesn't go down from Shaw to Willis. This is why I'm glad for this triple threat event. It helps introduce me to players that I might not otherwise have seen. And so after this, I will have their names and numbers down pat.
I'm glad I came to the event.
Well, I'm glad I reached out. I guess it pays to, quote-unquote, stalk players on social media. No, I don't do that. I do not do that literally, but that is such a crucial part of communication these days. I admit I am on it more often than I would like to be, but if I'm going to coordinate interviews or other stuff, you got to go where the players are.
Yep.
And you know what? If it wasn't for that, I never would have met you.
Oh, yeah. I wish I was here the last time, but I ended up getting sick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right, for the middle school games. Well, we have you here now.
Yep.
And you know what? You could the fact that you're here, you could shed a little more light on some of these players. As Mohamed picks up the loose ball. There's Jones out of Como Park. Emiya, the freshman. She and Shaw, you're going to hear a lot about them in the next year or two, I think, for Como Park after CeCe Davis and Kenny graduate.
Oh, yeah.
And there's another woman who I think is going to be a big-time playmaker in the next couple of years, Ava Smith. What she has done today is quite remarkable. So, 21-20, Capers. Shaw was on top of her. So was Zaniya Libbett. And that leads to a steal for Johnson. Riri, this game is going so fast, I feel like if I look down, I'm going to miss something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize we were in the second half already. That's how fast it's going. When you're playing, the game feels slow. But when you're not, it feels very fast.
I never thought about that. I suppose I haven't played like you did.
Yeah.
I played one pickup game, and I twisted my ankle.
Ooh, ouch.
So that ended my brief career. Actually, when I tell people about that, I'll never forget the story. A couple old friends of mine, Kayla McMorris and Tia Albert, who both were D1 athletes. Kayla and Tia both started laughing because they could not imagine the sight of me playing pickup. But if you take a good look at me, I'm 5'11", 149 pounds. I probably I don't scream basketball
Not really.
body. I don't know if I scream any kind of body.
Maybe golf.
Golf.
Maybe golf.
You're going to need to teach me a swing. I could do golf. You would have to exhibit a lot of patience because I'm a slow learner. 13:54 left. Well, since you shared your go-to, I have a couple. One, this explains why I'm single. No, I'm kidding. But I have a photographic memory of fonts.
Of what?
Fonts. Fonts. You know, like when you're on Word or other programs and you have to pick a font.
Oh, yeah.
Like your Times New Roman, your Arial.
You can actually remember. I can't remember
I can
those.
memorize fonts.
I can't. Absolutely not. I can't. That's too many fonts.
Too many. I listed 2, and that's too many for you?
I can only, list one.
What?
One.
I could list some more. It helps in my graphic design work. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Here's a 3 straight away. In and out it goes. Rebound. Gomez. And that was Go Gomez getting the rebound. I'm sure she's heard that more than once.
She probably has.
Jones to Capers.
Ugh.
Kylie Chesness gets the rebound, and London Clardy trains the runner. Well, Riri, I'll explain why I have so much knowledge about fonts. I grew up watching a lot of sports, and so when you see all the graphics, the score bugs, and all the other elements that get included, you notice, hey, they all have the same design, the same look to them. And as an extension of that, I can replicate entire graphic templates from sports broadcasts.
Oh. You just memorize fonts.
I can memorize some other stuff, too. You would have me beat on animals, though.
Yes, I would.
I would not want to take you on in an animal quiz.
Nope.
Do you have a favorite kind of animal?
Wolf. A wolf for sure.
Scarlett Capers playing like an animal. She's got 9 points after that 3. What's your favorite animal?
A wolf.
Wolf. What do you like about wolves?
I just like canine family completely.
Okay, wolves, canines, so everyone in that family.
Ooh, deep 3.
Kiera Willis drains the 3. Well, you know what? A wolf is fitting because wolves never leave the pack behind.
Nope.
Much like your Richfield and your AAU teams, Kiera Willis, hungry like a wolf right now. The 3, the block, and the leaner.
She working them right now.
In the words of Rihanna, putting in work, 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 work.
She cooking. She cooking in the kitchen.
Cooking in the kitchen, making hot dogs. Mohamed missed the runner, 30-25, gray over red. Willis now has 10 points. Well, Riri, I hope you will come back next year. Even though you won't be able to play, you could maybe join us as a commentator or a ref like Anisha and Maya. And I think it's cool, too, Anisha played in this event, and I think Maya did as well years ago. And now they're coming back as officials.
Definitely gonna have to come back.
Well, all your buddies are here, it seems.
Yeah.
I tried really hard to get Anaya to come back. She played in this event 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. Naijiona Shaw, she played in this event last year, and she's making herself at home. She's got 8. Danasia. Hey, better be careful, Danasia. They're going to get you with the high dribble. Or the carry, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Glover, through traffic, she'll shoot 2. No travel. I stand corrected. So how tough of an assignment was Shanyce Glover? Because I'm guessing you were one of the big bodies down low.
I was.
And Shanyce is 6'1". You're what, 5'7",
5'7",
5'8", 5'8".
Haven't got measured.
5'8" with the shoes on.
Yeah, 5'8" with the shoes on.
Just don't call Mahogany Brown 5 feet with the shoes on.
No.
She jokingly took exception when I called one of her games.
She took offense.
Jokingly. But hey, Ronnie Porter, who you might know from Coma Park, always says heart over height.
Yep. That's very true.
But where were we? This is what happens when you call a game with me, Riri. We'll go off on these tangents and I'll forget where I'm at. But how was it going up against Shanyce?
Like during the high school year, going against her was, well, to me, it was going against someone who's not only big, strong, and she can shoot. She's a pretty tough defender as well. I had to learn my lesson a few times going in with her.
Learn your lesson? Were you coming in all cocky?
No.
Saying, I got this.
I don't come in cocky. But I meant like she blocked my shot a few times. Can't come in just expecting I could shoot over her.
3 offline from Adedigba. Anderson trying to work off a screen. They'll back out. There's Durant. I'm guessing not related to a more well-known Durant.
Nope. Probably not.
Anderson. 3 hits the front iron. Adedigba tries to scoop it in. Cannot. Sampson with the board. So, Riri, who was the toughest player you had to go against in high school? Because you played in the Tri-Metro, so you had to go against the likes of Sam Wills, Anisha, and even outside of the conference, the Glovers. Who was the toughest player you had to face?
The toughest player I faced would definitely be Sam. would be Sam. She gave me a run for my money.
Uh-oh.
Injury.
Player went down, and Shanyce Glover didn't see her. She collided with Kylie Chesness. No, that's not Chesness. That is Gomez. But she's up, and she's all right. That's a scary thing. I don't know if you've been down there, Riri, where bodies are flying and you get caught down there.
Oh,
but
I've been down there many times.
But I'm always worried when that happens. You're always worried that another player won't see you and then fall on top of you.
Oh, that happened to me a few times. And the worst part is these are people that are bigger than me, that are just on me. The worst feeling in the world.
Maybe you should take up football.
So many people tell me that. They'd be like, oh, you're really strong. You should take up football. I'm like, oh.
Hey, there are women's football teams out there,
Yeah,
so after basketball, you very well could. And I don't know if you played in Oka, but Deborah Ianni, did that name ring a bell?
No, it doesn't.
Well, she played in this event last year. She was one of the posts for Anoka. Wants to play college ball, but she plays O-line and D-line for Anoka's football team.
Oh, okay.
One of the few women who plays varsity football as a position player. Durant with the takeaway. Uh-oh. Anderson, right idea. Scarlett there for the recovery. Red team up by 7. And
9.
make it 9. No, 32-27. I stand corrected. Gray over red. I got myself tripped up. That happens a lot, Riri. The more you do this, the more you realize I am my own worst enemy. Will they give Shaw the continuation?
Don't think so.
They should have.
They really should.
They should have. That was blasphemy.
Yeah.
I would have counted it.
I want to give her the points.
How about 3 points? Well, not there. What was it about Sam Wills? I'm guessing. I hope she didn't fall on top of you.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Because
stays on her feet.
she's another strong body.
Oh, she is. I played with her. I can't remember when, but when I was really young, I played with her. My dad coached her. The thing about her is not only does she have the height, She has the speed, she has the skill, and the agility. She's pretty much everything all coaches want in a player into one player.
There's a reason she's going to Harvard.
Oh, yeah.
I
She was a very tough person to defend.
I can attest to that. I covered a few of their games where she had a 2020 game against Holy Angels. Didn't quite get 2020 against your team in the first time, the first meeting.
The first time we played her, I just couldn't keep up with her. I don't know if it was my leg acting up, but I just couldn't keep up.
Well, I know it wasn't your asthma because you played the whole time.
What's the asthma?
But I referred to Sam as really the five-tool player. She can do it all,
Oh,
get
yeah.
blocks. And what I admire most about Sam, I think she's such a strong defender because she stays straight up. She does not get called for fouls a lot because she can square her body up.
Don't know about
a lot
that.
of players.
I got her a few fouls.
Well, at least in the Holy Angels game. I haven't watched all of her games, but she's really hard to draw fouls against because she stays straight up.
She is. That's what makes her a tough player.
So you have to be ready. You've got to be a little more crafty if you want to beat Sam Wills.
The second time I came prepared. The first time I wasn't really prepared.
That's right, you did win that second time.
Yes.
I remember that. It was on Valentine's Day, and there was a bunch of snow, and...
It was supposed to be our original senior night, but they switched it.
Oh, what might have been? You would have had a senior night victory and got to say,
yeah.
I beat Sam Wills!
That
Well, you still can claim that.
best.
You still can claim that.
I can still remember the play on what helped us win. It was, like, I think a few seconds left, and our coach drew up a play for Desi to bring the ball down, and if she missed a shot, I'd get the rebound. But me and Desi had something other things planned.
You had a sunflower drawn up, right?
No. No.
I'm referencing the song.
Oh, sometime. But so Desi pretty much, she threw the ball up and purposely airballed so I could get the rebound and throw it up for a layup.
Oh, yep.
Travel.
Yep. That was a travel. I'm sure that's never happened to you.
It has.
All right. I was trying to butter you up, Riri.
Well, you can't butter me up.
At least you're honest. I can respect that.
Yeah.
And another fun fact about me, Riri, I'm a pop culture geek. So that song comes on, I'm instantly taken back to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Love that movie.
I was a big MCU fan, still am, but yes, love the Spider-Verse movies. And more than once, I've actually... Fun stories. So Anisha, I've interviewed her a couple of times over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I had her come by for the Tip-Off Classic, and we were just shooting the moon. And I think I asked her, what's your favorite superhero? She said Spider-Man. And immediately my retort was, which one? Because of the Spider-Verse movies.
A lot of Spider-Man.
Right. As the Spider-Verse pointed out, it's not just Peter Parker.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Peter Parker, and then she chose Miles Morales. Like, okay, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Peter Parker era, but I dig Miles too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you have a favorite superhero or movie.
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Love Black Panther.
That's another one. Well, Black Panther's fitting because, just like him, you never freeze.
Never freeze.
I never freeze. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Love him.
2.5 to go. Emiya Jones with the deep three short. 3-point game. Gray still over red. This one I've noticed the flow has been a little more off and on, but Kiera Willis with a strong statement. And Scarlett Capers playing well, too, for the red team.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll take a timeout with 2:15 left, so...
All these people around me with food. I need to go get some food. I'm like, I'm starving. I should have ate breakfast.
Didn't anyone tell you breakfast is the most important meal of the day?
Yes, but I woke up at around 10, and I'm like, oh, I got to get ready. I got to get up. I got to get dressed.
What were you doing?
Sleeping.
Sleeping?
I was sleeping.
Do you sleep in late?
Yes. On the weekends, yes. I sleep in late.
I wish I could sleep.
Gotta get my sleep.
I wish I could just plain sleep.
Me too.
I can't sleep until 10, unless I'm up until 3 or 4 in the morning. I am just run all the time. 2:13 left. We've had a couple of tight games here. We had a photo finish in our last one.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any other fun facts about you, Riri, that I should know of here? You're an animal lover. You really like dogs, canines. You like to sleep in on weekends.
Let me think.
Well, while you think, let's see what Shaw does as she tries to think up of a strategy.
Ooh, good defense.
And that was a knock by Adedigba. Yes, number 6. I have to think there's more than one fun fact about you.
I mean, I get good grades. I don't know if that's a fun fact, but it's
Well,
something.
hey, that's a fact that helped you get into college, right?
Yeah.
Now what?
There's 6 red out. There's 6 red out. Well, there was just 7, but there's 6. There's 6 of them.
We had 7 players.
Oh, interesting.
7 players?
Yep.
Well, that would make your game a lot easier if you could have 7 out there.
I know, right? It's funny. Our high school coach used to do that. He'd have varsity 5 girls play against like the whole JV team, so it would be like 5 on 10.
I covered a high school game years ago where we had a 5 on 4 because Humboldt forgot to sub someone in.
Oh my God.
And so they played 5 on 4.
Well, at least, did they do good with the 4?
I don't think it lasted long, not that I remember it. I think they put someone in when they realized what happened.
Yeah.
We've got a collision. Durant shakes it off.
Ooh, careful for her.
But Willis lost it to Capers. And Scarlett will take it in for 2. Scarlett with 13. And now it's a 1-point game, Riri. Here we go again.
Minute left.
This is a big possession. Gomez. Out to Smith. Smith knows a thing or two about crunch time.
Down 1. Ooh, foul.
Goes around the picket fence and will shoot 2. They'll stop the clock with 42 seconds. Ava Smith, 4.6 points per game as a freshman, and we'll have a timeout. All right. When I said fun facts, I was thinking more about hobbies or interests or something.
I like to paint.
You like to paint?
Yeah. I got a little collection of paintings I've made over the last few months in my room hanging.
Okay, so you just started to paint, or?
I just started to paint because I don't have many classes. I only have 4 classes in high school. So one of those classes is like independent studies. Pretty much, it's just my own personal art class. Like even though I'm in a class with people, it's like my own class. Like I do whatever I want, pretty much.
So you took up painting?
Pretty much, yeah. Just to keep me doing something.
Well, we'll have to check out some of your artwork. Maybe, you know what, if there's time, maybe I'll do a podcast. We'll pay a visit, and you can show me some of your artwork.
Oh, yeah. I got all my art just hanging in my room.
I think that would be fun. Then you can show me all your dogs and...
Oh, yeah. My dogs are friendly. But be careful, they might get dog hair all over you.
I have a dog at my place, and I'm used to it.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a dog, a cat, you just have to accept the reality.
You're leaving with dog hair or hair. You're not going to enter the house. You're going to enter the house clean and then leave with some kind of hair on you.
Well, I'll bring a lint roller with.
Yes, needed.
Ava Smith splits, so it's a 2-point game. Scramble for the ball. It's still red ball with 31 seconds on the clock. And we still have 2 games after this, so we'll get to see some more middle schoolers.
Food after this.
Well,
I'm
yes.
Starving.
Riri will fuel up, and then we'll have game 3 for you after we both fuel up. Well, I fueled up earlier, but yes.
That's what I get for not eating breakfast.
Another tie-up or timeout. How many timeouts does each team get?
I think they get 3, maybe? Probably more.
I don't know how it works for exhibition games, but 22 seconds left. Scarlett Capers leading red with 13 points out of Champlin Park. And Riri, I mentioned this in the first game. What I like about this event, we've had some years when Anisha played where you had a high caliber lineup of Division I athletes. but this event gives you a chance to see some under-the-radar prospects.
Oh, yeah. That's
like
what I
Anaya,
love
who
about
played in this event 3 years ago.
That's what I like, that instead of having like the top girls from high schoolers, you see the girls that usually are under the radar that don't get mentioned a lot.
Now, it would be fun to see Anisha play.
Oh,
She
yeah,
got
it
to
would.
play in the All-Star Series. It'd be fun to see her go out there one more time, but
Oh, yeah.
I would not question her credentials at this point.
Me neither.
Please make sure to check out the
She was Mrs. Clutch. I covered a lot of De La Salle games over the years, and you could always count on Anisha to make a tough bucket.
Oh, yeah.
I do wonder what might have been, as we've got a turnover, and Red will get the ball back with 20.9. Had Jordan Johnson stuck around, I think De La Salle could have made a run for the title, but
Probably.
they still got to state without her. Jordan opted to play volleyball. That was another beast in the paint.
Oh, yeah, she was.
But another great story. You may have heard about Jordan.
Yeah.
Actually, both of you were on CCO. Jordan was featured for her work in STEM.
Oh, yeah. I played with Jordan. I think like what grade? 6th grade maybe. I played basketball with her. And then she also played with North.
10 seconds, Gray gets it across. Willis will back off and try to run out time. They'll stop the clock with 3 seconds, but I think Gray's going to hang on for the win.
Yeah. Oh, I hate when that happens. Like the end of the game when the coach just tells girls to foul.
It's not my favorite part of the game
Nah.
either. As a broadcaster, because you've run the math in your head, you kind of know what will happen, but
Yeah.
I understand why they do it. And
I
Gray
do too.
beats Red 33-31. So that is the LYNX team beating the Gophers team. But Riri, your thoughts here before we go to break on this game?
All these girls played their hearts out. I can see all the talent in their eyes. Can't wait to see what they do with their future when they're all older.
I feel the same way about you. Seriously, after I learned about you and your story and just how much joy basketball gives you, I want to see how it translates to the next level. So we'll have game number 3 in a moment, but we'll try to get a player or two up here for a post-game chat as we continue live coverage of the Triple Threat Girls Basketball Showcase from the High School for Recording Arts.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves,
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
game winners,
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
and everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
We're joined by Scarlett Capers, who led all players with 13 points today. Of course, this is like whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter. But Scarlett, what would you make of this game, getting a part to be in this showcase and getting a chance to show some of your potential today?
It was really fun. It was a really good opportunity, and I got to play with some people I haven't played with in a while, so it was really fun.
What did you enjoy most about the game you played in?
It was really competitive and fast-paced, and we were able to move around the ball and get some good points for everybody, so that was fun.
Now, you are a freshman at Champlin Park. I know Champlin is trying to build their way back up after some successful years, but to come into this event and get a little more practice, how can that parlay to what you do at AAU and next year at Champlin?
It was really good practice. The competitivity with at high school ball and AAU is all different, but it was fun because I got to see people who I play with or play against during high school season.
How fun is it to mix it up like that? You get a taste of it with AAU and high school ball, of course, but you get to see some new faces. You get to be teammates for the first time in some cases. But it's a fun way to make connections. At least that's the vibe I get from up here.
Yeah. Some of these girls that I played with before, a long time ago. So it was great to see them play again, and I really hope I get to keep playing with them in the future.
Now, what did you learn at Champlin Park in your freshman season? I know you didn't get a lot of wins, but there's a saying, you either win or you learn. I'm guessing you picked up a few lessons that will help you down the road.
Yeah, I think I personally had a lot of growth during the season, and so did our team. Even though we had lots of losses, they were usually close games, so we learned lots of growth and we learned lots of lessons from that.
Well, she's got a photo to take quick, so we'll wrap this up briefly. But Scarlett, I got to ask you a couple of things. Is there a fun fact or two about yourself? Because this is the first time I've had a chance to see you out there, but it's also a chance for our viewers to get to know you. So what's a fun interest, hobby, just any fun fact about yourself?
A fun fact about me is I'm a multi-sport athlete and I'm a left-handed.
A multi-sport lefty. Well, keep your eyes out for this woman. What other sports do you play?
I play softball, and a couple years ago I did track, but right now I'm focusing on softball.
All right, so you can see her on the diamond later this spring. And before you go, you want to say hi to anybody?
I just want to say hi to my mom and dad.
I think one of them is right there. All right. Well, Scarlett, thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the great effort. You've got a team photo, so I'll let you get to that. But best of luck as you continue your career. I look forward to seeing your evolution.
Thank you.
Scarlett Capers of Champlin Park, and we'll have plenty more from the Triple Threat Girls Basketball Showcase shortly.